ladies and gentlemen.
In the blue corner, Josiel Silva. In the red. You talk about the power, Josiel says. You never see that many flyweights this height, with this sort of reach as well.
There's great ability to cut weight and make it down here, because you can see that not only is he tall, but he's not lanky. He's not thin for the weight class.
Gadzhiev there with 2 hooks there for Josiel Silva to think about.
Nice double. It framed very well there for Silva did. You saw he got that arm across, but man, Kerben fought it up to a double underhook to a body lock and shoved him against the cage. That was really impressive wrestling transition.
Absolutely. They call him the Python for a reason once he gets hold. Very, very difficult to shake this man.
That was a solid frame. I still don't know how he fought through that. I'm gonna have to watch that back on replay, because my brain's telling me that that should not have worked, but it did.
Again, Poster manages to stand up.
Great ability to transition from over one side to the next. He rotated with that body lock, using the knee, Kerben did, as a block. He blocked the post leg of Silva to rotate him to the mat, and it looked like Silva was still going to try to, fight the takedown and get his hands to the mat. But the forward pressure there from Kerben just nullified that. Now he's going to have to fight from his guard.
Big shots there as well from Kerben.
And what a bad place to discover. Oh, he's working up for that triangle.
He's trapped that arm.
If he can get that left leg over the shoulder, he's reaching with his hand.
Close.
And that was smart. See, he went from going for the submission to now fighting back up to his feet. By doing that, by fighting up to his feet, even though he didn't get up, he forced Kerben to have to control him. Because if he's not controlling him, then he's able to hit him. And we saw some flashes of those elbows. Those could be some very damaging shots.
Some hand fighting going on here between the two as well. You see that right arm of Gadzhiev. Josiel Silva trying to target that, trying to control it. Oh, nice elbow there.
Does he got the arm trapped on the side?
Oh, he might have, yes.
Oh, all right. Oh, omoplata.
Look at this.
Great job of getting out there. He needs to put downward pressure on Gadzhiev's shoulder. And if you triangle the legs with the gi on, you can do that and get away with it because you have the belt. You can break down the post. But without the gi, the only way I've seen that omoplata really be effective is if guys cross their ankles. Don't bring that foot up into a triangle because it makes the shoulder too light.
There's only one finish in MMA, but I mean, nice knee. Ben Saunders there from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu finished somebody in the UFC with that. Oh, nice knee again. And this was what Makovsky was talking about with Josiel Silva. Despite the amount of weight he costs, his energy never drops.
No, he came back. I mean, you just see the look in his eyes. He was angry from having to fight him off. And already just the body position of Gadzhiev, he's on the defense right now.
Oh, that knee just missed there, and Gadzhiev throwing some wild shots. Oh, another knee, that dropped him.
Right to the chest. He's trying to work a half guard. Silva sees that ankle, or sees the wrist. Now he's controlling that wrist. He could have pulled it up, but now he's using it to control. He needs to sprawl that arm back, or leg back. Gadzhiev is a very good wrestler. If he's able to turn the corner and keep that knee on the mat.
Look at that, there you go, as you call it.
Yep, now he's got the leg coming back. Now he's stretching Gadzhiev out. But look at that.
Look at the
he is a
strength
strong,
of Gadzhiev. Oh.
Nice limp arm to a left hook. He limped his arms out, Gadzhiev did, to pull away and remove that grip, the sprawl.
Oh, but Josiel Silva piling it on now.
Almost without even fear of moving forward. He has no respect for the power of
Gadzhiev, yes.
None. He's just coming forward and driving in, and he's forcing Gadzhiev to constantly take shots that he doesn't necessarily probably want.
These are big elbows as well. I'd love a different camera angle on those.
Yeah, those are damaging. Now, I think that's why he's not fully just spalling. He's kind of happy being here, beating him up. Now he's controlling.
Great switch there. Look at that rolling to take the back.
Okay, He got one hip controlled. He's got the arm.
Oh, look at this.
He's going to hold on. His chin's in there. There's no way with 10 seconds. Nice crank, though.
He's just
he controlled the
him
far
know.
hip, pulled the face the other direction.
What a battle that was. Gadzhiev at the start of that round, piling on the pressure, but Josiel Silva, exactly like you said, when he stood up, he was angry. He was angry about what he had to deal with down there.
I mean, and being taken down not easily. Gadzhiev is really having to, break out all the stops. Very methodical takedowns, relentlessly coming forward. But from the bottom, Silva is consistently attacking. Here, the omoplata jumping up around to the hips before Gadzhiev was able to rotate him up high, keeping his shoulder high so he doesn't get shoulder locked or swept. And then every time on the break, there's that look. I mean, he's just marching forward with no concern whatsoever with the power of Gadzhiev's strikes. He's just, there you go.
Again. And these knees as well. He knows Gadzhiev's going to come in for the takedown. Those knees, even if they don't connect, they're a warning that if you make that move, that's what you're going to be facing.
And Gadzhiev is tough, man. That knee, switch knee, he did the flying one with the left to the chest. That landed right on his sternum, kind of grazed up to the chin. But you can see that not only with the strike, but the forward motion of Silva pushed Gadzhiev to his butt. But immediately he started going back to work into the half guard to rotate up to that single. And I mean, he's fighting back. So
we're set for round number 2. Kurban Gadzhiev in the blue corner, Josiel Silva in the red with me, Brian Lacey, and Frank Mir calling the action here at ACB 73. And despite the beautiful display of jiu-jitsu we just saw from Josiel Silva in that first round, the 5 finishes he has got on his record, they're all TKO, KO knockouts.
Yeah, and right here, this game plan, I think, is perfect for Silva.
Yes.
Just staying back, not over-committing to his punches, just sitting behind the 1-1-2, jab, jab, cross, because he has such a height and reach advantage over Gadzhiev. But running forward with those knees, they are high reward if he lands, but also I feel like that's his best. He's giving Gadzhiev the best opportunity to close distance where he works best.
That body shot. Well, oh, he's eaten 2 of them. He ate one just in front of us in the cage there, and he targeted it again. The body shot tonight has been the money shot for a lot of the fighters.
It's just something that it's very hard to move your body out of the way. It's easier to move your head. And the body shot isn't, it doesn't come down to mental toughness. When you just get racked to the body like that, it causes nerves and your body goes into a panic. There's a reason why boxers work it to the way they do. It's a very effective.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Had it one side.
If he gets out of this, Gadzhiev wow, he did. Transition to palm, stretching him out. I can't believe he got out of that choke.
I can't believe he got out of that, but the transition to that was amazing.
Now he's got the chin on the, now he's done.
There we go, there we are. He's fighting that, but look at this.
Wow.
Josiel Silva.
He's on the throat, that's why. I was wondering, how is that not working? Okay, because the elbow is not lined up with the chin. You see how the forearm was across the throat?
Yeah.
Now that's extremely painful, and it cuts the air off. But you can hold your breath for, a lot longer than you can not, have blood flow to the brain. So let's say even just 20 to 30 seconds. That's a long time to squeeze. Most guys, when you do that across the throat, when they tap, it's out of panic. Self-preservation. As an animal, we don't want our trachea feel like it's being crushed. Whereas if you put it across the carotid arteries, again here, this is more of a forearm across it. It's a wind choke, we call it.
Yeah.
Where if you put it to line that elbow up to the chin, so that way the pressure's on the carotid arteries on the sides of the neck. Now that's blood flow. 3 or 4 seconds, everybody loses consciousness. It's impossible to operate. Your brain needs a consistent and constant supply of blood. The minute it gets disrupted, you lose consciousness. You even see it in some of the traditional karate stuff where a guy gets chopped on the side of the neck and just that impact causes a disruptance in the blood flow, and that's enough for guys to lose consciousness.
Oh, look at those nasty little grazing shots there. Yeah, I'll thank Mr. Brad Pickett for showing me the difference between a wind choke and a blood choke.
Triangle attempt. You can see that he was going and trying to set up. Silva was trying to set up the arm bar there where he was sitting on the side. The only problem I think he ran into right there was that the cage was right behind him, so he couldn't create enough room for him to swing out to get his hips in the proper position and lay down. And by that opportunity that he couldn't stretch out on Gadzhiev allowed him to rotate over.
Oh, look at... Yes.
Good triangle defense, because that was a quick triangle he popped up, and you've seen that Gadzhiev started sliding that inside knee up to block it.
But look at that survival instincts from Kurban Gadzhiev. Survives. Josiel Silva on his back. Now he's crushing him up against the cage.
Nice hip pop. He knew he had to fight that leg, his right leg, to get it down to the mat and rotate it down. And he was doing the right thing, but that's the stuff that it's hard to teach guys. It's like, I'm showing you what to do, get it done. And that's what he did. He popped his leg down to get to the proper position so that he can stand up.
Oh, there we go. He sprawls once again. 55 seconds left in this second round.
Look at that march. Just
oof. Let's see if he goes back to the body.
He keeps throwing those knees.
Oh, they're big elbows.
Careful.
I think that's cut him.
He needs to make sure he keeps that constant little slight angle change.
Yes.
If he brings it completely from the ceiling down, they call him on a foul.
6,
and
yeah.
I'd hate to see him get marked down even a point at this point in the fight. In a fight that he's just shown a great display of dominance. Oh, that's another one. I mean, that's a little too close for my own.
15 seconds left in this, and now he's dropping once again to try and take that back.
Wow, that was slick.
That
Way
was
to crucifix to hold on, but he's on the side again.
But again, he's finishing the round in this position. That's 2 rounds where he's
And
ended.
the arms trap. Look at that. How beautiful. That would have happened with even 30 seconds left, and that fight would have been over.
Both fighters back to their feet. Josiel Silva.
Look at that beautiful uppercut. Jab.
Oh.
He threw everything, and it was just clean. Uppercut, elbow connected to his ribs, threw it right in the center there.
Just before that as well, there was another body shot, but this is the rear naked that he had. There you go, you called it. So it's straight along. So rather than the elbow being under the chin and cutting the...
Yep. And it was hard for us to see. That's why at first when I saw it so deep, I'm like, oh, fight's over. But then the camera angle pulled it up, and you've seen that the forearm was across the windpipe. Now it's basically how long Gadzhiev can hold his breath and how tough he is. And I don't think we need to... everybody can see how tough the guy is.
Tough indeed. Josiel Silva getting instructions from his corner. We've got Kurban Gadzhiev just looking to help their fighter recover. What a night of action we've had so far. You can get in touch, keep involved, be involved with the action. Hashtag ACB73. On Instagram at ACB_MMA, Twitter ACB_league, and Facebook AC Berkut. Still our main event to come. Leandro Silva taking on Islam Makhachev. Let us know who you think is going to take that one. But let's keep this flyweight bout rolling. They touch him up. Josiel Silva, we talk about that weight cut. It doesn't seem a detriment to his cardio. In either of the fights, we've seen a tough one against Makovsky, and this one again, he looks very fresh in this round, third round.
No, there's no argument for why this is not his weight class. You can see his height advantages he has. He's strong, and it's not sapping him, obviously, to make this weight cut.
Oh, again. You can see the elbow low there from Gadzhiev. He's protecting those ribs. Oh, and there we go. That one connected. You might see a head kick coming as
just
well.
Having fun at this point, like he's just pot-shotting and hunting.
And look at that, just turning him over there.
Gadzhiev shot with his head on the outside right there, which allowed him to get a good angle for the sprawl. And now, which actually, if you probably ask Gadzhiev, I'm sure, you know, those elbows are not pleasant, but I'm sure they're hurting a lot less than some of those shots he's taken on his feet. And really, you know, he's had more answers in the grappling range. He seems like a threat, whereas on the feet, he hasn't really nothing as far as striking-wise. Even the few shots he has landed, Silva's basically just shrugged it off.
Shrugged them
Didn't even seem like it even made him blink.
The work rate of Silva is phenomenal as well.
Oh, he's going to try to hook a Darce. Let's see, he's pushing the head down.
Yeah. Oh, big elbows again. Gadzhiev trapped up against the cage. Oof.
Yeah, and Gadzhiev at this point is just, he's a conditioned athlete. He trains hard, but he's just been beat up for the last 10 minutes. He's fatigued, and so he's not really showing any ability to get out of here.
Oh, you saw the coach of Josiel Silva call for more shots, more action, and he responded.
And that's impressive, guys, at home. You know, he could have sat there and the referee would have stepped in and stopped a fight that he really is, you know, very obviously at this point going to lose, and called it a night and stopped the punishment. But instead, when he thought the fight was going to get called, he mustered up whatever he had left to try to, oh, a little high.
I think he's trapped the arm as well there.
Well, and this could work either way. It depends. If he gets his shoulder in there like what Gadzhiev has, he can actually use this as an escape, or that arm's going to get attacked. But as far as getting the choke, because it's going to be hard now for Silva to choke him because the shoulder's deep. If he would have trapped it to where now basically he would be farther down the elbow and more of Gadzhiev's shoulder was in the choke, like now yes. See how his shoulder's up more? He bypassed it. He could have trapped it there.
But once again, locks up that body triangle. Is on the back there of Kurban Gadzhiev, constricting the python with those long limbs. 1 minute 35 seconds left.
Well, and he's doing a great job. He's obviously got this fight won, but it's not even so much a concern of winning now. His corner needs to scream out $5 grand, $5 grand. Like, you know, now there's some money on the line here. As far as if he doesn't get this finish in the next minute, he's going to lose money.
Oh, Gadzhiev tried to explode there, tried to make something happen, but the slickness of the two, as well as just the great jiu-jitsu and being able to ride his opponent so well. Josiel Silva keeps the position.
And you know what? I think his corner, if I was saying anything, I'd let him go. I mean, right now he's in great position to win the fight, but if we want to get a finish right now, you know, this Gadzhiev has shown that he has an iron neck, great resiliency, a big heart. He's not going down unless you do the choke 100% correctly. Even 99% is not choking this guy out. But stand up, maybe that liver shot, body kick, you can land something to finish this fight.
Again, Gadzhiev showing great heart there, looking to explode, but Silva just controlling the position once again. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, I think that in hindsight, Silva should just let him up and for the last 2 or 3 minutes go for the knockout. Because right now, Gadzhiev isn't even really fighting to win, per se, which even makes it more of a pain in the butt. He's just holding on not to be finished, which, you know, that's shows how tough, you know, he is. But it is really hard to finish somebody who's not necessarily making mistakes because they're trying to win, but staying conservative just to make sure they don't lose by finish.
Fantastic performance there from Josiel Silva.
Yeah, here's what early on in that third round where I didn't know if he had enough in his gas tank to get out of here, and he showed his heart. The fact that, you know, as soon as the referee started moving towards him, right about here, he exploded up from that half guard to grab onto the single right there, which didn't improve his position much on as the fight went on, but was enough to keep the referee from stopping it, and he can go out here with a decision loss and not a TKO.
There we have a
transition,
great transition. We have a little look back at the action. Stunning performance there. Another Team Nogueira fighter there, Josiel Silva. I mean, if people thought that Makovsky fight was just a fluke, or the fact Makovsky may have underestimated him, not at all. Makovsky said that was a tough battle. And if you ask Kurban Gadzhiev about this fight, he'll agree as well. Josiel Silva is legit in the flyweight division. He brings an interesting set of tools, as well as that that length and that reach that you don't see often in this weight class. So come on, let's
like you called it. It looks good for the weight class. The cut did not affect his energy. This is a perfect weight class for him. He's dangerous.
Let's make it official. Let's hand it back to Cyrus Fees.
And ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we will go to decision. Your winner with a score of 30-26, 30-26, and 30-25, Josiel Silva.